Hello and welcome everybody. My name's Rose Smith from AbsoluteSoulSecrets.com and I'm here to do this week's Pick a Card Tarot reading. It's really simple. Just pick a number between 1 and 5 and I will do a psychic tarot card interpretation for you. So it's for the week commencing November 9, 2020. How the year is flying past. What a year it's been. It's been so much happening and people have really been under the pump to try and adjust to new circumstances all of the time, it seems. All right, have you got your number? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. First number that pops in your head. You can have more than one number if you need to. If you have 5 numbers, that might be just a bit confusing. Okay, I like to do this a little bit differently. I like to have a little vision before I turn the cards over so we get a more comprehensive view of what's going on. And if you're new, please consider subscribing to my channel and hit that notification bell right now. Okay, so let's go to the main board and see what these cards say. Okay, so card number 1. Card number 1 for the week commencing 9/11/20, and I'm closing my eyes. What do I see? News, information coming to you. It's like letters. Okay, so today, of course, it might be emails, but I'm actually seeing like old-fashioned handwriting and letters. Maybe somebody does calligraphy or takes great care and attention to how they do their handwriting. Okay, you know what? This feels like World War One. This feels like, or maybe World War Two, a world war, and one or the other, 1 or 2. And the troops are riding home to the families, and they've finished their campaign in this area, and they're still alive, which is good news. They're riding home. They're saying that it's finished. France. Anybody got a connection with France? Or your grandfather was in the First or Second World War, and riding home saying that campaign's finished and that he's coming home. Of course, it will take some time to get home, but he's okay. All right, so I feel, yes, that could be literal. That might have special meaning for some individual out there. However, I feel that there's also a big connection with the collective. And so this is like in the US, you've just been through this huge mega election which has ramifications worldwide. I'm glad, because it's going to put pressure on the Australian government now to adopt stronger policies to ameliorate climate change, which is really been terrible here. Like California, we have had shocking bushfire storms. They're not normal bushfires. These are Armageddon storms in the bush. We lost over 3 billion animals. Billion. That's 1,000 million. My God. It just nearly kills me, just that. And I'll try not to think about it anymore because it's just too much. And so climate change needs to be dealt with. Here in Australia, some of our coasts are being eroded and washed away. Like, it's having real effects on us, and it's having real effects on the some islands in the Pacific. People in Tuvalu, for example, off the coast of Australia. Oh, it's a fair way off the coast, but you know, it's sort of closer to Australia than America. And their island home is being flooded. They've already had to send people to New Zealand. Climate refugees are already resettling in New Zealand. That's how bad it is. Anyway, so a Biden government will put pressure on Australia, on our very not ultra, that's not right. I'll say on our conservative government that has some ultra right-wing elements. Okay, so card number 1. Card number 1. Okay. Depression. Okay, particularly about money. The 5 of Pentacles. Have you overspent, or perhaps the money hasn't been coming in? If you've been following me and you live in the US, you'll know that a couple of times it has come up that the stimulus checks are coming. There will be good news mid-November to end of November. You could have, I think the checks will actually be going out in that time frame. So try and hang on a bit longer. You might have to, do something to, hang on. But the money is coming if you're in the US. If you're in Australia, please check that you're getting everything you're entitled to, because it's very complicated working out exactly, there's so many grants and supplements and free lots of money being given away from the government. You need to go onto the web and check for, free government money, free government supplements Australia or something like that, because there's lots that you may not know about, and particularly if you're in business, there's lots of grants available. Okay, and it's hard to know what you're entitled to, really, seriously. I don't know why they just don't lower everybody's taxes and be done with it. Okay, card number 2. Card number 2 for the week commencing 9/11/20. 9/11/20. Okay. Closing my eyes now, what do I see? Card number 2. Somebody talking up here to the right. They're speaking up, and it's almost like interjecting or interrupting. And the right is the male side. So you may have men in your life talking over the top of you or interrupting you. So I would suggest when they do that is just to stop and wait for them to finish, and then just look blankly until they get the message. Do that a few times. If it doesn't work, then you're probably going to have to come out right and say, you always interrupt me, because that's what they seem to be doing. Then there's a lot of silver coins here, which is the feminine side, and that's all about change. Interestingly, these are on the ground near the lounge. If you've lost some coins or some money, on the ground towards the back of the lounge, maybe underneath the lounge or underneath the cushions. Okay, have a look. Anyway, if you've got no money, go and check there. Anyway, you never know your luck. Okay, the card that comes up is the death card. This means the death of something. It doesn't usually mean a person. Okay, the first thing that comes to my mind about this is some relationships will falter soon from all of the stress. We've got the COVID stress. We've got the climate, the stress of the climate. I mean, here in Australia, we're going into summer soon, and we just don't want to repeat last year. It was so bad. And if you're in the States or in the Northern Hemisphere, you're going into winter, and COVID is already really going crazy in the Northern Hemisphere. And so please take care of yourself. Social distance. Don't go to places where there's lots of people. Avoid crowds. Take vitamin D. Wash your hands. The normal sorts of things. Okay, but something is coming to an end if you picked card number 2. And that is it's happening so that you can start a new life, okay? A new chapter in your book of life. That's what it's about. Card number 3. Card number 3, 9th of November. Try not to worry if you picked. Every time you go to sleep, it's like death. It's a little death every single night, because often we leave our bodies when we're asleep, and then we come back, and we've been doing this our whole lives. So it doesn't mean physical death. So I don't want you to worry like that, but just embrace the whole change that is happening as much as you can. And I know it is hard. All right, card number 3, close my eyes. What do I see? Sorry, I'm still stuck on this. Somebody's pets. It's just like pets coming through. And particularly if you had a grey cat, but there's dogs here as well. There's just a whole group of animals, and they, just want to say that they love you and they miss you, but they're fine, they're happy, and it's like they're in a little sort of group together, and they're waiting, they come to you in your dreams, or they're coming to you in the night. Okay, that's what it's about, the night time. Okay, we're going to get to this card number 3. Card number 3, there's an opening here. There's like a birth, okay, a new birth. And so it could be to do with your birthday, or it could be a new baby in your home, or a new life-changing project, something major that is coming but there's a sense of celebration or positivity around it. New business. And in order to do that, it's the Seven of Cups, which is about asserting yourself. Don't let people try to tell you what to do. This is your decision. You need to be assertive. It doesn't necessarily mean conflict. Conflict can be avoided, particularly if you're assertive right back at the start before it escalates into something, bigger. And so, nip it in the bud early by, sticking up for yourself and being fully aware of your rights. If you've picked card number card number 3, which is the Seven of Cups. Card number 4. Card number 4. Okay. Close my eyes now. Are you in Sydney? Particularly Northern Beaches, French's Forest area, on the north side of Sydney, going to the beach, having a good time. Don't forget your sunscreen. Message for Sagittarians or someone who does archery. I see like the Sagittarian archer here with the bow and arrow, and that is you're on target. Okay, and you could be aiming for something, shooting the arrow into the air, knowing not where it's going to land, and they're telling me you're on target if you pick card number 3, but particularly Sagittarians, or if you actually have bows and arrows yourself. Horses, I see horses, that's about horsepower. You could have a teenage girl around you and she's becoming more powerful and feeling what it feels like to become a woman and maturing and growing up. Alternatively, this could be a part of you, which is like your inner child that is growing up. You've been through a lot lately and you've had to change and grow, and that process continues. But it feels like it's more positive now because now you're going to have the power and you're going to feel more powerful as a result. Card number 4 is the Sun. It's happiness, it's awareness, security, comfort, insight, feeling, really happy. There's new life coming to you. The Sun always brings new life. And if you are a mature person, then you have the realization of, hey, I'm really content or happy or peaceful about a certain situation. Okay, the Sun will bring that to you. Okay, so let's now have a look at card number 5. Number 5 is alive. Card number 5. Just looking for one. Okay, there's one there. Closing my eyes now. What do I see for card number 5? What do I see? A candle is lit. Okay, so this is about having some hopes and dreams. Your hopes are still alive, okay? Now, here's the thing. It's great to have hopes and dreams, but don't get mixed up with fantasy. Because fantasy are things that you think in your head. Hopes and dreams are coming from your heart, and that's by extension allowing the energy from your soul to be expressed. It's not the same as what goes on in your head. Okay, so these tend to be sorts of things that are associated with good things like being free, equality for all people, not having, someone lording it over the top of somebody else, good health, feeling abundant, stuff like that. Okay, if you're hoping, for your ex-lover to come back or your ex-husband to come back, and you're thinking about it and mulling over it, that may not be exactly the same thing. We're talking about two different things there. Okay, so the candle is lit. The card that comes up is the Queen of Cups, which is a beautiful card. It's all about feeling your feelings. It's the feminine side of things, and feeling all the feelings of love and nurturance as well. Being in contact with your subconscious. She sits here on a conch shell. She's got a clam shell at the back. The ocean is here, and she's dressed in blue and green because blue's all about the throat chakra, expressing your feelings and your desires, okay? So this is quite a high level energy, the divine feminine. Some birds here in the background telling you to look at the big picture and not get caught in detail. She's seated here on the shore because she's practical. If you're hoping your husband's going to come back and he's married to somebody else, then you're probably not being very practical, I'm sorry to say, okay? You know, I could talk about that for ages, but just being practical is really super important. And feeling your feelings at the same time. It's all a balancing act, isn't it? You know, like feeling feelings, you know, and not getting taken by those feelings and having those feelings take control. You're still in control in this card, okay? Queen of Cups. Okay, Pentacles, Death, Cups, Sun, Queen of Cups. Okay, a lot of emotions still going on this week. The end of something. And particularly if you're in the US and you wanted Trump to win the election, you'll be faced with reality this week. Already some of the litigation that Trump's instigated is being thrown out of court. I've seen several news reports for different places where the litigation is just being thrown out. So you need this thing called evidence when you go to court. You can't just make wild claims and expect it to go anywhere if you don't have any evidence, okay? If you're worried about money, change, likely mid-month, or some good news, stand up for yourself. Okay, so I'm just going to close my eyes now and see what I can see for everybody for the week commencing 9th of November. Yeah. It's all about letting go. We're in a new reality now, a new world. There's a door behind me closing, and it's just best to let that door close and just continue on. Don't get stuck in the past thinking, what if this or what if that? You know, yes, there's some funerals going on. I see some coffins here in front of me, and that's like saying goodbye to the past, okay? And I don't mean that literally. I just mean, you know, it's time to move on now. Things have changed and will continue to change. They're showing me lots of coins stacked up in columns. That is about change, and there's a lot more coming, okay? So, but they should be more positive now. It should be like new legislation, you know, to get the countries back and working, get people back to work in a safe way, not like it is now, especially in the US. COVID is out of control in some places, so it has to be done in a safe way. Some of you may be thinking about having a baby. I see all these little babies here, and that can also be like a business, starting your own business, or something that's going to change your life dramatically. It's a new energy coming into your life. Okay, so that's it for this week, 9th of November 2020. I hope you found this a little bit helpful. Please leave me a like and a comment and a share. That'd be really appreciated. Thank you so much for watching. If you are new, please consider subscribing to my channel and hit that notification bell right now. Okay, I shall see you again soon. I've got lots of ideas for videos, and I keep saying I'm going to get on to these. Horoscopes for December for all the star signs, and I'll do that. Thanks, and bye for now. Thanks so much for watching. Please visit my website absolutesoulsecrets.com for all things spiritual. Have a lovely day.